Alrighty, guys. Well, earlier on in the podcast, we talked about Mikey Madison reportedly, turning down a role in the new Ryan Gosling Star Wars movie. And as Star Wars Celebration is kicking off, and we'll have more to talk about it next episode, I am sure, with more announcements coming over the weekend. But Star Wars Celebration brings with it some announcements, and it is the official confirmation of what this Ryan Gosling movie is going to be called, and a little bit about what it's going to be about. So this is official confirmation that the Ryan Gosling Star Wars movie directed by Shawn Levy is going to be called Star Wars Starfighter. There was a video game of the same name released a while ago, and so I don't think based on the comments that this is going to have any relation to that video game, but you never know, right? I actually don't know what the video game is about. I haven't played it myself. This is all just breaking news and I'm just reacting to it. But what I wanted to do actually is I was looking for sources to talk about the details about what's going on with this film. And so I went online, I looked at, Star Wars Starfighter, and StarWars.com actually released an article. And so this is, it's about as official can get, right? StarWars.com, for Star Wars news. And this article, it doesn't have a whole lot, right? It doesn't have a whole lot. But what it has there is actually quite interesting, because it's officially from Star Wars, one would think. It's the StarWars.com team. I don't know how affiliated they are with Lucasfilm, but it's interesting. So let me just read this entire article. It's very short. It's three paragraphs basically in 2 sentences. So this is what it says. And this is the official announcement, by the way. Quote, Ryan Gosling is joining the Star Wars galaxy in a new film directed by Shawn Levy. Levy, who recently directed and produced Marvel's hit Deadpool and Wolverine, made a surprise appearance during the Mandalorian and Grogu panel today, joining Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy and Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni on stage to confirm his project for the live audience at Star Wars Celebration Japan. One of the several theatrical productions, this is really important, I think, or this is really interesting. One of the several theatrical projects still in development from Lucasfilm, including films by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. I'm so sorry, I butchered that name. She's the one who's directing the Rey Skywalker movie, or the Dawn of the Jedi movie, or whatever it's called, or the New Jedi Order movie, whatever it's called. James Mangold, Taika Waititi, a new trilogy by Simon Kinberg, Levy's film Star Wars Starfighter, will star Gosling and go into production starting this fall. Set approximately 5 years after the events of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Gosling will play a brand new character teased by the actor's appearance on stage. Star Wars Starfighter arrives in theaters on Memorial Day, May 2027. Okay, so look, there's not a whole lot to go off of for the actual film. Couple important announcements about the film itself. It's going to be 5 years after The Rise of Skywalker, so we know a placement in time. It's going to be brand new characters. It's going to have a lot of heart, is what I read in other articles. It's starring Ryan Gosling, directed by Shawn Levy, and Mikey Madison at one point was going to be in the film, or it was being eyed to be in the film, and she isn't anymore. So that's what we know about this film. What's interesting, though, is this article confirms all the other projects that are still in development. It's not, maybe the Rey Skywalker movie and the James Mangold movie, not as surprising, right? We knew those films were in development, along with Mandalorian and Grogu, which is coming out next May 2026, I believe. What is surprising is their confirmation of a couple other projects that I thought were kind of dead in the water, and there are still way more projects of Star Wars that were kind of announced around the same time that actually have died. The Kevin Feige Waldron project, right? Michael Waldron project, that's gone. Right, but that was announced after the Taika Waititi project, and that's nowhere to be seen. So they are confirming, or at least whoever is writing this article is confirming Taika Waititi's project and the Simon Kinberg trilogy. Remember that? We talked about that maybe 3 or 4 months ago, that Simon Kinberg was developing a Star Wars trilogy. And so those two, I guess, series of projects are being confirmed again, as at least being in development. Now, what that actually means, whether or not those will actually happen, who knows? But I just think it's interesting. Anyway, Star Wars Starfighter, yeah, I am enthused. I'm excited about the idea because I think Shawn Levy's sensibilities play really well into Star Wars from what I've seen from Deadpool and Wolverine, of course, but also Stranger Things. He's directed some of the most phenomenal episodes of recent Stranger Things that I can remember. He's an executive producer of that show, and it's one of my favorite shows. And I think that he has a great sense of adventure and fun. And I think, right, if you can make a film that's in the vein of a Skeleton Crew, for example, just brand new characters, galaxy far, far away, Starfighter looks like it's going to be about a pilot. Just do something fun in the Star Wars universe. And that was what Skeleton Crew was for me. Well, yes, it's still tied back to the lore in a certain way, for sure. But I think that's what this film has the potential to be. And I am actually quite excited about it. So guys, what do you think about the announcement of Star Wars Starfighter? We knew that Shawn Levy and Ryan Gosling were making a Star Wars movie. We just didn't know what it was. And now we have some more details. Star Wars Starfighter, May 2027. Let me know in the comments down below.